Hello and welcome everybody. We have the Global Lab patch notes February 20th. We got a lot of class changes. Let's get started. We have Succession Warrior getting some changes. So here we can see that on Rushing Stab, stamina is not restored when moving. On Mad Rush, the defense has been changed from forward guard to additional resistance to all status effects applied. So pretty much a forward guard super armor it seems. It's also been changed so that the character does not rotate according to the camera direction during the attack action. Counter stance 1 to, well, I think Jin would be Pen. The floating effect when counterattack or spirit counterattack damage hit is successful has been changed to only apply to monsters, so the float is gone. The knockdown effect when using the spinning counterattack has also been changed to PvE only. Rotation teaching, the 100% critical hit chance effect for 1 second when using the skill has been removed. Then we move over to Awakening. Flow Overwhelming, they added a forward guard while using the skill. Tearing the Sky, when using the skill, a super armor effect has been added, and the float has been changed to PvE only. Scorching Heat has been changed so that stamina is no longer restored when using the skill. Fierce Momentum, when there is one or more enemies around, the attack and movement speed increase effect has been changed to 15% for 10 seconds. All damage reduction effects have been removed. Grave Digging Flow, the flow grave digging reckless strike skills have now have an additional effect that increases all damage reduction by 20% for 1 second when there are 7 or more enemies nearby. Digging the grave has been changed so stamina is no longer recovered. Teaching the dead, all damage reduction effects have been removed. Balancing has been changed so that super armor is applied when using a skill, and it's been changed as a stiffness is only PvE only. When acquiring the balancing technique, the stiffness is still PvE based. Cooldown has been changed from 3 to 5 seconds. Greatsword Barrier has been changed so it is a possible link with other skills, except for the piercing teaching skill from the point where the movement ends. Sack Strike, okay, has been changed so it only links when the right click is held after the balance strike. Crush and the Black Spirit Crush, the skill critical enchant has been changed to apply in PvP as well. Flow Ankle Breaker, the 100% critical hit chance for 3 seconds when using a skill has been removed. When using a skill, an effective plus 10% increase in down attack for 10 seconds has been added. On the Flow Overwhelming, the 10% effect increase of down attack for 10 seconds has been removed instead. PvP damage application rate has been changed for 2 skills on Grave Digging, and the Teaching the Dead will also change. It is going to apply 8% more damage and 2% on the stamped hit. So on the spinning strike, 8% increase, on the stamped only like 1.5-ish. On the reckless strike, the damage is going to apply 7% more roughly, a little less, 36% in total. With that, we're moving on to the Ranger. We have the Ranger Awakening getting a small change. Rushing Wind. It will no longer. It cannot be used during the cooldown anymore. The Wind, when on cooldown, the skill Rush Wind will now be linked instead of Wind Blast. And Vine Knot, the skill has been changed from a stamina consuming skill to a mental skill consuming skill. As a result, the stamina is restored while skill is in use. Musa getting small changes on the Awakening. They call it Super Heat Wave, not too sure if that's the actual name, has been changed so stamina is no longer restored while using a skill. During the attack action after moving, stamina is restored in the same way as Strong Super Heat. And on the horizontal cut, it has been changed so that stamina is also no longer restored. Maehwa Awakening is having some changes though. We have Snowball. They added an effect that increases the all attack power by 20 for 10 seconds when using this skill. The effect is identical to the all AP increase from the Frost Blossom skill. Cloud Stabbing, the movement of the skill has been changed to be more quickly. They added a forward guard effect while using a skill and an air smash when hit is successful. PvP damage application ratio has been changed as well. So overall, it is going to apply instead of 41%, 44. Moon Rising, the PvP damage application rate is also being adjusted. So it used to be 36, now it's 36 on the first hit and 40% on the second. And on Stigma, the skill effect has been changed to match the attack range. So overall, you can see the distance is now accurate. Ninja's getting some small changes on Succession. We have the Shadow Blade and Dagger of Malice. The poison effect is being pretty much halved. So the Shadow Blade is going from 280 for every 2 seconds for 6 seconds to 140 for the same time period. And the Dagger of Evil going from 840 down to 420. Stab the Vital Point and the Stab the Vital Point in multiple steps. The damage application has been changed. So instead of 28.3% applying, it'll be 41. So it is a damage increase. And aiming for the heart, also getting a damage increase from 31.67 to 43.06. So also damage increase. Sage Awakening getting some changes. So the Flow Fire command, the defense judgment has been changed to super armor during the aerial actions, excluding invincibility at the start of the skill, and on flash breakthrough, the defense has also been changed. So before change, it was invincibility while using a skill to a super armor. Now it will be super armor while using a skill, invincibility, and back into super armor. Scholar's another one, losing a lot of invincibility effects. So we have the Golden Thunder. Super armor has been changed to be applied from aerial action, excluding invincibility applied when the character disappears at the start of the skill. Flow Golden Chain, the invincibility effect during aerial actions has also been changed to super armor. Gravity Bombardment, the invincibility also has been changed to super armor while aerial actions are active. Step Back, the invincibility has also changed to be reduced by 0.3 seconds. Deadeye has some changes. So Deadeye uses Real Devil to attack enemies from a distance and a wide range, and uses the revolver to focus fire on a single target. So overall, we're getting some changes here. So Chaos, the stun effect has been changed to apply only to monsters. Bloody Whirl as well. The stiffness has been changed to a stun, and it's been changed to only apply on the first hit. The stun effect has been changed to apply in PvP as well. The damage of the skill has also been changed. So on the live rounds, we have a damage increase of roughly 400% with 2% loss in PvP damage application. And in the case of Marnie, we're getting a 300% increase for 12 hits, but also PvP application going down by 2% to match it. Bulletstorm also being adjusted, looking at 300 and 200 on live bullets and Marnie again, but the PvP damage application is going up a tiny bit in the live bullets, but only by 0.2%. And for the Marnie, it is also going up by 0.2. So this one should be a net positive on Bulletstorm. Wukong is a little bit weird with the translation. I did try to pre-check it, but it is a bit complicated. So the hair effect of the gourd, I believe, is this, pretty much is being adjusted. So when using a skill in the state, now it will do the skills of the Buddha state if the gourd is active. The effects also seem to be always summoning a clone. Rush effect. Overall, the translation is very difficult to get, but it doesn't matter if Buddha state is active. When the player's skill lock is set, rush effect does not activate. Additionally, if you successfully hit even once, you can continuously charge and activate the skill by continuously linking the skill that increases the Buddha state. However, if you link a skill that does not increase the Buddha state, or if you end the link and return to a standby position, the rush effect will not be activated. So overall, with this change, they are changing the clone summoning. So after the change, regardless of whether you're in Buddha or not, a clone will be summoned when using a skill. And then also we have some CC changes, pierce through and grow longer, or get longer. In both cases, the knockback has been made PvP active, so no longer applies only to monsters. General class modifications on Dark Knight, the Flow of Vidir's Trap skill, the Darkness Scatter skill has been improved to make the skill's presentation look more natural when linked. Then another one on Dark Knight, it's been changed so the character does not rotate according to the camera direction when landing after using Darkness Scatter. The movement time of Vidir's Trap skill has been reduced. The skill chaining time remains the same. Corsair, they fixed an issue with a second hit of the Seawater Temptation skill could not be linked into the wave jump. On Seraph, or Condemnation, they fixed an issue where stamina was not consumed when using hidden enemy in the right direction. When using a capture rope, you can no longer change equipment when approaching a horse after putting the rope on it. While riding a cannon, direction change and movement operations are no longer possible when the character or the cannon are in the air. And while riding a cannon, the cannon and the character in the midair cannot be dismounted. Then we have the Edania Hunting zones coming. So new Edania Hunting zones have been created near Hakin's Temple, Nymphomare, Orbita, Zephyros in total. So right outside Hakinza, we have the rock elephants, which will give Breath of the End, elephant skin, elephant meat, elephant blood, the stuffed rock elephant head, and the full body stuffed rock elephant and rock elephant ivory. There is some weird translations with this, but overall we'll see that in just a second. Then we have the cliff goats, which seem to be southeast of Orbita. These will give the stuffed cliff goat head and full body stuffed cliff goat. Then we also have the coral stoneback crabs, giving some extra items called an Nymphomare Song, which we'll see in a moment. And also silver ore and rough-stone. So overall, the first hunting mob that gives rough-stone. And then the other one that I think a lot of people will be looking forward to is the golden leaf snake. So overall, we're getting a golden leaf snake south of Tenebrown zones, which gives obviously snake meat, essence of Capharos, and the stuffed golden leaf snakehead. So looking at this, we have a few extra items being added. So obviously we have the Breath of the End, which is used to make the breath imbued heads, golden leaves, and Nymphomare songs, which are apparently used for Edania furniture crafting. Then we have the cliff goat horns, golden leaf snake scales, rock elephant ivory, pretty much all creating stuffed animal heads with the breath. And then we have the introduction of elephant meat and elephant blood. The name of the Belladonna elephant leather has also been changed to elephant leather, so these will stack. They also added furniture items that can be obtained by defeating the hunting monsters outside of Edania. So overall, you can obtain the stuffed heads and full bodies with a small chance by killing monsters outside of Edania with a matchlock gun. And the duration of the buff obtained when using the stuffed heads and the full body monster outside of Edania is 3 hours. Pretty much a standard head. The part that makes me a little bit confused is this. So obviously we have the rock elephant with the stuffed rock elephant head, which seems to be the non-manner version, and there seems to be a full body version, which is the manner, which actually have different effects. So in the case of the rock elephant, we can see that the all damage reduction is given for the head, but only maximum HP for the guild version. On the golden leaf snake, we have the head give all AP damage against humans and adventurers, and all evasion plus 20 for the guild version. The cliff goat, also the full version, giving an all attack power plus 15, so all AP, or all hit points plus 20. Again, a bit weird that these are different. And then we have the coral crabs, the stoneback crabs, being the unique hunting skill plus 70 and hunting proficiency plus 100. So it does seem to be like plus 70% hunting XP and plus 100% hunting mastery. Here we can see the different heads and the coral stoneback crab. The Breath of the End item, which can be used to create the breath version, seems to be in here. So we see the stuffed rock elephant head with 50 breath and 1 rock elephant tusk. Same thing for the full-bodied again. So this is what I mean with it seeming to be a guild and head version being differentiated. The golden leaf snake scale being used for that one, cliff goat horn for that one, and the songs of Nymphomare for the coral stoneback crab. Otherwise, we also have some extra furniture being added that can be made. So here we can see you can still turn these into the guild furniture items. And then we're going to go into the actual furniture. So we have the Pearl of the Wall, coral pieces, brilliant obsidian, moonlit opals, golden pearl, and songs of Nymphomare. We have some mermaid statue fountains and wall-mounted mermaid statue fountains, which actually look really gorgeous. Then we have the Tree of Capharos and the Sacred Tree of the Enemy, pretty much being in there with some Capharos tree wood, the golden leaves from the snakes. Then we have a small notice of change for some content schedules, so pretty much some PvP schedules for Base and Conquest Wars, War of the Roses, and AOS being changed. So overall, this will be pushed back a little bit. The other one we're waiting for, obviously, Sycraia Underwater Ruins remake. This is now coming. So, sorry. Overall, we have the increase now. So we have Deep Under the Sea. The Abyssal is being changed to Deep or the deep changes being changed to lower. Here we have an AP of 395 and DP of 460. The base final attack power 1905 and DP of 800. The attack power limit is 1935, so it does seem to be that there won't be a new crystal for this. We do have some top tier exclusives, so those are going to be in here. There is also the Refined Origin of Predation and Refined Essence of Predation being added, which we'll see later on. Yeah, that is a big thing. It just got mentioned. There does not seem to be a Merchant Ring piece in this main loot. Overall, it could be that that is now gone from the lower section, even though it was a very low chance. Information on the Origin and Refined will be later on. Then we have the junk loot or trash loot be 107,900 silver. Aggro's essence consumption for all mobs, it seems, is going to be 9. There is a new crystal being introduced with this. So we have the Sycraia crystal being introduced. With this, we have the Sycraia's decision, which is the pity piece, it seems. And then we have the full crystal. Here we can see the RBF crystals being replaced by effectively adding a 25% resistance crystal with an extra +4 monster AP. So in total, you can get a +8 to push yourself even further. This is available for knockback, knockdown bound, knockback, and I believe that's push, and the stun stiffen / freeze. Overall, due to the addition, which is a higher crystal, the following magic crystals have been removed from the regular maintenance on the server. So the red battlefield crystal is being removed and silver will be paid out. For adventurers exploring to gain the ecological knowledge, existing monsters will appear in certain areas of the lower levels. The monsters will also be changed a little bit, so overall we can see the old visuals and the new visuals. The difference in color of the monsters is due to the lighting of the area where it appears. Then we have the ancient weapon sealed in the upper also being adjusted. So overall, upper is being changed to an AP of 300 and 400, total AP 1100 and DP of 440, attack power limit of 1130. Here we do have the Merchant Ring fragment still, Song of Secret, Deboreka Ring, Tongue Red Ring. The Marnie box will remain, the Erythea's Limbo box will be there, Essence of the Abyss, and the sealed magic, black magic crystals. Trash loot is going to go up to 23,540. Aggro's consumption looks to be 7. It is a little bit weird to only see the Merchant Ring in the upper one still, but then again, this one should give a little bit more silver. The probability for obtaining items in the upper level has been changed to apply. When using the landscape painting, the probability of getting the Merchant Ring in the underwater ruins does seem to be increased by 1.33 times compared to similar hunting level. As the difficulty of the upper level increases, the contents of the Marnie box will also change. The Marnie box will also give Deboreka accessories of the highest level duo. Marnie stones obtained prior will not have these rewards in it, obviously. The weekly quest will also be changed and unified. And then we have no real other changes, apart from getting to Sycraia. So with Sycraia becoming more popular, they are giving us an easy access. So on Velia, you will be able to teleport into the upper levels of Sycraia, or from Ilia, you can go to Momo or Sheila. Sheila is at the north end of Ilia, or you just go to Momo and Velia to head there. A quest has also been added to hand over the Deep Sea Fragment to the following NPC to move to the upper level. So this is for a Deep Sea Fragment. If you want to try to get there day one, you might want to stock up on one or buy one real quick. They also added knowledge and titles for Momo, a member of the Velia Village Vigilante Corps, and they added world map icons to guide you to the locations of the Griffin transport ships in Velia and Ilia, and the following 2 types of terrain knowledge have also been added by talking to Luarne or Gorman, which is the upper level and lower level NPCs. One thing that's a little bit surprising is the mobs at Zephyros will lower the die drop chance. So overall, we're seeing the die being reduced by 42 and 66%. Same thing for the Star's End. So the chance is going down by 16 for the Herald of Corruption, Apostle of Evil, and Herald of Decay. The Star Debris version will have it reduced by 70% across the board. that is actually a bit of a surprise. Then we have the titles Victory over Titium, Muskin, Alrundi, and Salno Siege Captain have been changed to be obtainable through the main quest for defeating each monster. I will definitely be testing this. This is a small change. Then we have another thing that is a little bit of surprising. The Origin of Refined Predation, which got mentioned earlier. This will be added to the top tier grounds. So currently Stars End, Zephyros, and upper level, I believe that's supposed to be lower level Sycraia ruins. The part that is a little bit weird is the phrasing of it. It seems to be just another hunger with much increased chances. So here we can see from like a 200 stack. There we go. From a 200, you'd be going in 20 steps, at least up to 206. And then it goes down to the 300 again. It seems a bit odd to be releasing this. It does seem to have a lower limit, double that of the regular hunger, so it seems to be double as strong from what I noticed from the numbers. It does kind of just replace hungers from in a 2-to-1. But the part that completely confuses me on the translation is which uses weapons and armor as materials. I guess if you use armors and materials to strengthen, you're also going to get an increase and a warning message. It seems a bit odd. Overall, Tet to Pen seems to be usable for this, and then Blackstone Extraction has been increased up to Try. To be honest, I need to see the actual translation. This seems a bit odd. Then we have another small thing. The Blessing of the Spirit life skills is going to be added. So effectively the scroll version for life skill mastery. So it will last 60 minutes, has a cooldown of 10 seconds, uses the imperfect grass lightstone, 10 remnants of the spirit, 10 mysterious parchment or 100 finest leathers, and 350 magical lightstone crystals. And obviously you have the 100 piece or 10 pieces and 100 pieces version. The descriptions have also been changed for the magic crystals to be more clearly the materials used to craft them. Some guild item descriptions have been improved, and usage acquisitions have been changed. Then we also have some changes on the following items for notification messages at the top of the screen. So Tongrad accessories will no longer appear, Black Disto earrings will no longer appear, and the Dawn of the Bar, that I'm not too sure of what that is. That I'm guessing that is the Vaha's Dawn earring, but that would be only a guess. Then we have some quest and knowledge changes. So Udalita, Ataraxian, and Land of the Morning Light are all getting the glowing knowledge effect. Also, when accepting quests, the Snowflower Goblin's Trial and the from the Black Spirit, they will now display in the quest recommended quests. A new dialogue has also been added to Olvia's Academy Combat Science Professor Cliff, where you can ask him about relics, lightstones, and crystals. And a question about the quest board has been added in a dialogue to Emma Bartali. Background NPC effects and cutscenes, expansion of the commercial district for daily necessities. So here we actually have another big thing. Additional merchants NPCs will be added to major towns and cities. So we're having some changes concerning the fruit, mushroom, and herbalist vendors. So in each town, we're going to see the fruits being added to different people. So for example, fruits are being added to the chef David Finto. Eileen will take care of the herbs, and the Chlorins will take care of mushrooms in Velia. Then we have Heidel. We have a similar change. So Bonnie Laurent, the merchant guild leader, will take care of the herbs. Laura for fruits, and Flaviano for the mushrooms. Altanova, similar thing. We can see the herbalist being Rishiru. The furniture merchant will take care of the fruits. The material merchant will also be Rishiru for mushrooms, so you can, in this case, get mushrooms and herbs from the same vendor. This is going to be seen in a few others. So Valencia, we have the fruit merchant be the blacksmith. The Black Spirit's training, Jimmy Drieger, will take care of the mushrooms. Grana, herbalist and mushroom, will be the wandering alchemist by the Dalashane. The exchange manager, Grelius. Duvenkruin, we can see Malfan, the cooking merchant, taking care of the fruits and mushrooms. Odraxia will get a mushroom merchant, which will be the flower merchant. Ale Village, I'm not actually too sure what that is. it will be by Yarma, I believe. That might be Asperkhan. Then we see Musgar being added, so the cooking merchant, exchange manager, and trade manager will take care of the herbalist, fruits, and mushrooms. Hakinza Temple will get the herbalist, fruit, mushroom, and the cook merchant. So overall, everybody will get something, which will be split between Eileen and Harrow in there. Nampumudal Village will get a mushroom merchant, which is Cholsum. And Yakbo Street also will get a mushroom, fruit, and herbalist through the Hiyok, the little housewife, and the warehouse keeper, or storage keeper. Some NPC titles will be organized into consistent rules. So before you had a specialist in high quality herbs, it will now just say the herbalist, and the golden toad innkeeper will be changed to Constante the cook. We can see a full change of titles here. So overall, Batu the carpenter will become the furniture merchant, and so on and so forth. This is just the title that it says above their head. The base tax information button has also been changed to not be displayed when talking to some NPCs. The locations of some NPCs in Vili and Ovi Academy have been naturally modified. In the UI, they fixed the scroll position of the unified goods UI to be maintained until the loading screen. The magnifying glass icon for the view details on the event integration page has been changed to an icon that is more appropriate for the actual function. Then we have some system changes. When the essence of accuracy is full, a list of guaranteed and reinforcement materials will no longer be displayed. After the reinforcement, if you close and then reopen the window, while the success or failure message appears, the message will disappear. Adding a warning message when using equipment as a material to increase your stacks. And then finally, we're at the fixes and changes. So Ranger, there was an issue with the direction of the quiver. The great steps on the wrong path. When completing Tenenbaum, a transparent wall has been installed to prevent people from straying. Location of the mountain goat indicated by the ash-colored wing in the Orbita quest has been changed. Location of the elephant ivory path has been changed while completing the Edania necklace with the power of witchcraft quest. Then we have some changes for the Buju's gift. You might need to check that out. The issue with the titles below could not be obtained when defeating or Zekia has been fixed. The Black Rose permeating the void has been fixed. They fixed an issue with the quest ancient pattern that could not be completed if you had the knowledge of the Wells of Origin in Dregan, or Magnus Wells in Dregan. Then they had some fixed issues with the key guides not showing up. Character selected dance moves would appear awkward when selecting a dance from the Pearl Shop. An issue with the chicken on the roof of a village would make an awkward movement when colliding with a character has been fixed. An issue where movement was impossible in the Okila buffed area during Blue Battlefield has been fixed. An issue where buildings built by other guilds before the start of a node war could be recognized in a specific way. This seems a bit odd, but node war people might know what is going on there. Then an issue where people could still use the weekly quests and such after graduating has been fixed. An issue where selecting to heal injuries at the Elephant Recovery Center immediately after an elephant dies would not show which elephant is issued. And then we have some more messages being added and information for certain NPCs in the logging camps. And also some pad mode fixes for the entry button on Edana's Throne UI. And territory resource information. With that, we're already in the TLDR. Overall, name changes, unifications, every city becoming more viable for cooking and alchemy is quite nice. The knowledge things I absolutely adore. I really like it. It's great for people that don't like knowledge as much. The life blessing being added, okay, great, nice that we get it. The new hungers seems a bit weird. This could shake up the market a little bit, but I'm not sure. It seems a bit odd to release. Then we have the general decrease of the dies. A little too late for us in EU. The market is already absolutely saturated. Teleport to Sycraia, really nice, really great. Upper Sycraia, keeping the ring, definitely a nice touch. At the same time, a bit surprised that the lower one will not or does not seem to be give the ring. That is a big surprise, but at least you can use the paint you maybe get from the top, and the top has gotten a lot better. Definitely still a bit of a setback. The new furnitures look gorgeous, especially the wall-mounted mermaid statue fountain. These really look really nice. Otherwise, the buffs being different between the full body and the head is a little bit weird. a bit surprised. Just gonna have to look at how this goes. I do think a few people will be happy to finally have a snake meat hunting mob. And then overall, the class changes. Some invincibility is going away is definitely a downside for a few classes, but it is a bit crazy to catch some of these classes anyway already, and they do still have their super armor, so unless you have a grab, there is no chance in stopping them. Warrior does seem to be getting to be hit with the ugly stick again. Overall, a lot of no stamina recovery. It seems a bit odd, and it seems a bit out of left field, but I had a warrior or ex-warrior main mention that he feels that these are good. I can't really speak for that. We're gonna have to see how it goes once these are live. And with that, I wish you the absolute best of luck. Also, if you notice where this picture is from, I think you should easily do this. Put a comment below if you like to, and I wish you the best of luck with everything you do.